You are awake in bed before dawn, staring into a dark bedroom, and your pulse kicks the moment a line from last night comes back in perfect detail. The room is still. Your face burns anyway. You feel it again, the instant you said too much, or said it wrong, and now the mistake seems welded to your name. This is that private replay of a social mistake, with the fear that other people are holding on to it too. You tell yourself it is a personal flaw, a petty obsession, just modern overthinking that you should be able to shut off. It is not random, it is not new. It comes from life in small human groups, where social standing could shape protection, food sharing, mating chances, cooperation, and tolerance after conflict. Out of that pressure came careful self-presentation and a constant watch on how other people might read your behavior. It helped stop social damage before it hardened. It still takes something from you after the moment is over. This is old enough to sit near the base of modern human life. Anatomically modern humans have existed for roughly 300,000 years, and for almost all of that span, other people were not background. They were the conditions of survival. The faces around you were not optional. They could feed you, back you, pair with you, forgive you, or stop doing any of those things. That makes the feeling far less private than it seems in the dark. Nearly everyone alive inherits some version of this watchfulness, because nearly everyone alive comes from people who had to live where reputation lasted and the same people kept seeing you again. Not a glitch. Standard equipment. So when the memory returns, and your body tightens around one careless moment, it is touching something very old. Roughly 300,000 years of human life do not disappear because the room is quiet. Nothing in that bed is attacking you. Something in you is still keeping score. And it is not sitting there like a museum piece. It is active. You are standing in a kitchen the next day, reaching for a glass, and without warning your stomach drops before you see a familiar name on your phone. For a split second, your body moves first. Not toward hunger, not toward rest, toward social consequence. The message itself can be harmless. The reaction arrives before the evidence does. That is the unnerving part. The response is still doing its job in real time. It keeps turning behavior into signal, silence into meaning, and ordinary contact into a place where your image might need guarding. It does not wait for a verdict. It prepares for one. So the feeling from the dark room was never just a thought. It is a live system, ready in the middle of the day, ready in the pause before a reply, ready in the instant a familiar voice says your name and your body listens for what comes next. You feel the drop before the facts arrive. A small social cue can still move through you like unfinished business. The past is not gone when a human mind learns that belonging can change on contact. That is the door this leads to, back to the kind of human world where being judged by the same few people could follow you everywhere. In a small group, there is no clean escape from other people's memory. You wake near the same bodies, eat with the same hands, move across the same ground, and return at night to the same firelight. If people start reading you as selfish with food, reckless in conflict, quick to insult, slow to share, hard to trust, that judgment does not float away. It follows into the next hunt, the next argument, the next wound, the next winter shortage. A bad name can change who stands beside you when danger breaks loose and who hangs back. So the mind learns to get there first. It watches your own behavior while it is happening. It checks your tone, your face, your place in the group. It pushes apology after offense, restraint before anger, conformity when a norm is obvious, and sharp memory for the exact moment you looked weak, cruel, careless, or unreliable. That response solves a real problem. The people who noticed social damage fast had a chance to repair it before it hardened. The people who did not could keep making the same mistake in front of the same witnesses. That is why one moment can keep glowing in memory long after it ends. You still carry a mind trained for repeated judgment among known people. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your face heats. The body is old enough to treat reputation as a condition of continued belonging. In that world, forgetting too soon could cost more than embarrassment. Now it helps you in a different room. Someone in a meeting leaves an opening for a cheap laugh at another person's expense. You feel the impulse, hear the line forming, and stop it before it lands. That pause is not weakness. It protects trust. It keeps one person from becoming a target and keeps you from teaching the room that you are careless with other people standing. The old response is still earning its keep there. It reads faces fast. It notices when a comment would make you look cruel, disloyal, or unsafe to speak around. It slows the mouth. It edits the posture. It pushes you toward the version of yourself other people can stay relaxed around. In real social life, that matters. Families remember. Workplaces remember. Friend groups remember. A reputation is still made out of repeated contact. But the setting has changed in one quiet way. Most slips do not decide who feeds you, shelters you, or comes running when the dark opens up. Still, your body can react before any real verdict exists. You feel it in the throat, the jaw, the pulse under the skin. The same sensitivity that helps you protect trust can fire before the room has actually turned against you. The machinery is not damaged. It is precise enough to keep working after the stakes have fallen. You send a harmless message, then see the 3 dots pause and vanish. Nothing has happened. No accusation, no rejection, no public shaming. Still, your body reacts as if a place might be closing. The safe moment and the physical alarm do not match. Then the first crack shows itself. After a small social error, maybe a joke that lands flat, your attention narrows without asking permission. You start reading faces for tiny signs. A delayed smile, eyes dropping, a voice that sounds half a shade cooler. The room keeps moving, but part of you is no longer in the conversation. It is on watch. Hours later, in a quiet sink full of dishes or at a red light, the scene returns in exact order. The words, their face, your tone. You replay it even though no one is there to confront you and nothing new is being decided. Your shoulders rise. Your stomach pulls tight. A mind built for durable local judgment does not need an audience present to keep the case open. The danger has shrunk. The review does not know that yet. So it follows you out to a family dinner. You answer too sharply. Not a screaming fight. Just one sentence with too much edge in it. One look across the table. One silence that lasts a beat too long. On the drive home, you start cutting the scene apart, line by line, trying to find the exact second your image changed. The meal is over. The review is not. Sleep breaks around it. Calm goes first. Then, the next morning, arrives with your mind already back in that chair, still trying to repair a version of you that may exist only in other people's memory. Then it happens at work in a cleaner voice. You send a message that reads colder than you meant. No one attacks you. No one calls it out. Still, the rest of the day starts bending around tone. You reread what you sent. You rehearse a follow-up. You watch for a shorter reply, a missing warmth, a delayed answer that now feels loaded. Focus does not stay on the task in front of you. Part of it stays busy managing how you might now sound in somebody else's mind. By the next gathering, the cost changes shape again. Before you speak, a filter drops in front of speech itself. You test the joke, soften the opinion, trim the story, not because the moment demands caution, but because the old watch has marked your name as vulnerable. Ordinary interaction gets narrower, less free, more edited. You feel it in your body first, jaw set, eyes open in the dark after another replay. The strain is real. Rumination can keep arousal elevated long after the room is gone, and the modern world keeps supplying the same social trigger over and over. In a group chat, a joke misses. A reply gets a laugh emoji from one person and nothing from the others. You know how small this is. The body does not care. That is the answer to the mismatch. The trigger was never danger in the abstract. It was durable judgment by known people who would see you again. Family, co-workers, friends, neighbors. Modern life still gives you exactly that structure, just with lower stakes and more repetition. The room changed. The condition did not. That is why insight does so little. You can tell yourself nobody will stop feeding you over a blunt comment at dinner. You can tell yourself one stiff message will not destroy your standing at work. The system running underneath is not waiting for a courtroom verdict. It is scanning for signs that a social impression may now travel forward into the next contact. Once that possibility appears, the task feels unfinished. So you try the obvious things. You reason with it. You compose the perfect follow-up text. You replay the sentence to prove it was harmless. You avoid speaking too freely the next time. None of that closes the loop for long, because the trigger cannot be removed without leaving social life itself. The same people keep coming back. Monday becomes Tuesday. The family thread lights up again. Another meeting starts. Another dinner invitation arrives. The review process gets fresh material before the last one has cooled. You feel the failure of control in a different place now. Mid-conversation, your chest is already tight before anyone has judged you out loud. Reassurance helps for minutes. Then the watch resumes. Repeated social exposure keeps the alarm supplied, and that makes the burden cumulative. At the next lunch with the same coworkers, you hear your own voice coming out pre-corrected. You are not speaking freely anymore. You are speaking around future memory. Every sentence passes through a check for how it will sound tonight, how it will look tomorrow, how it might sit in somebody else's lasting picture of you. Then one old